Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Come on
Hi.
in.
So glad you could join us today.
Really lovely. Good to see everyone. Make sure to have your finger meditation tool with you now, your handheld Labyrinth, and have note paper or your journal next to you and something to write with. I guess that's assumed. But let yourself get settled that way. We're going to be doing this moving from a reading that I'll be reading right into our handheld Labyrinth meditation. All right, we are so lucky. We're going to have live music with Rob Hodges today. This is a very special day, and if you haven't heard his wonderful cello, that just is a real treat in itself. So here we are, May 7th, 2022. And World Labyrinth Day, with a wonderful, as you know, the idea originally started with TLS, the Labyrinth Society, and this year, and it's been going many years, and now here we are, many people contributing and participating around the world. So what a gift. I'm going to ask you to jot down during this reading. I'm going to read the lovely piece from Dr. Clarissa Pinocolestis called "We Were Made for These Times." And you can Google this and get this off the internet if you want to. It's about an 8-minute reading. So I'm going to be reading that. And as I read, if a phrase jumps out at you, something that speaks to you, write that down. And you might then take that, because we're going to move directly from the reading right into Rob's cello music. And you might want to reflect on that during your meditation. Perhaps not. You know how labyrinths are, something might come up and grab you that you hadn't planned, grab your attention and have you focus on, oh yeah, I didn't know I was thinking about that so much, that kind of thing. Okay. So you have your labyrinths nearby. You have a pen and paper nearby. Just really use this time. The reading is about 8 minutes. I just want to alert you to that. And then we'll have about 15 minutes of music. So you really have plenty of time for your walk. If you have a smaller labyrinth, then indeed you might want to walk it a couple times. But if you want to use that time for journaling, we're all together today. Walk as one at one. And we're kind of saying one-ish somewhere. We're opening the labyrinth at 12 to 2 at Grace Cathedral outdoors. So hold up your hand held labyrinths so we can all see them as a way of beginning. Lovely, wonderful to see all the variety. So folks, it's no secret that we're living in very tumultuous times. And it's always important to realize that this is why labyrinths come back into human consciousness, is during these times of turmoil and huge cultural changes. And as Jeff Sayward says, this is about, I don't know, the 5th or 6th revival of labyrinths, that they come back when we need them. They offer everyone a center, and that whole famous poem from T.S. Eliot, when the center doesn't hold, the falcon you cannot hear and the falcon cannot hear you, the center does not hold. So I'd like to do this reading. Please just kind of settle in. If you don't know Clarissa Pinocolestis, she's a Jungian analyst. She's author of many books. She's a wonderful storyteller. And so if in fact during COVID and those bleak days where everything was closed, and even including the golf course, so we were all walking the golf course out here where I live, and listening to her audible tapes, her audible recordings. And so that's a place to start if you don't know her work. So We were made for these times. My dear friends, do not lose heart. We were made for these times. I have heard from so many recently who are deeply and properly bewildered. They are concerned about the state of affairs in our world now. Think of the Ukrainian war. Think of the instability we have in our countries. Think of the famines that are in the world, climate change. In the United States, the Supreme Court making important decisions. Whatever you're carrying in your heart. We are concerned with the state of affairs of our world now. Ours is a time of almost daily astonishment and often righteous rage over the latest degradations of what matters most to civilized, visionary people. You are right in your assessments. The luster, the hubris some have aspired to while endorsing acts so heinous against children, elders, everyday people, the poor, the unguarded, the helpless. It's breathtaking. Yet I urge you, ask you, gentle you along, to please not spend your spirit dry by bewailing these difficult times. Especially, do not lose hope. Most particularly because the fact is that we were made for these times. Yes, we were made for these times. For years, we have been learning, practicing, been in training for, and just waiting to meet on this exact plane of engagement. I grew up, she grew up, it's true of me too. I grew up in the Great Lakes and recognized a seaworthy vessel when I see one. Regarding awakened souls, there has never been more able vessels in the water than there are right now across the world. And they are fully provisioned and able to signal one another as never before in the history of humankind. Look out over the prow. There are millions of boats of righteous souls on the waters with you. Even though your veneers may shiver from every wave in this stormy royal, I assure you that the long timbers composing your prow, the rudder comes from the greatest forest. The long-grained lumber is known to withstand storms, to hold together, to hold its own, and to advance regardless. In any dark time, there is a tendency to veer toward fainting over how much is wrong or upended in so many things in the world. Do not focus on that. There is a tendency too to fall into being weakened by dwelling on what is outside your reach, by what yet cannot be. Do not focus there. That is spending the wind without raising the sails. We are needed. That is all we can know. We are needed. And though we meet resistance, we more so will meet great souls who will hail us, love us, and guide us. And we will know them when they appear. Didn't you say you were a believer? Didn't you say you pledged to listen to a voice greater? Didn't you ask for grace? Don't you remember that to be in grace means to submit to the voice greater? Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding to, adding more, continuing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up during the first, the second, or the 100th gale. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire, to display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others. Both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. It would help to calm the tumult. This is one of the strongest things you can do. There will always be times when you feel discouraged. I too have felt despair many times in my life, but I do not keep a chair for it. I will not entertain it. It is not allowed to eat from my plate. The reason is this. In my utmost bones, I know something, as you do. It is that there can be no despair when you remember why you came to earth, who you serve, and who sent you here. The good words we say and the good deeds we do are not ours. They are the words and the deeds of the one who brought us here. In that spirit, I hope you will write this on your wall. There can be no doubt when a great ship is in harbor and moored, it is safe. But that is not what great ships are built for. Well, take your time to come back to our Zoom room. Don't rush. Let the feelings hover that are valuable to you. See response, Rob, to your lovely music. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, really lovely. Thank you. So here we are. So take a moment just to kind of settle in for just a few final moments here. Thank you all for being here. I love the idea of going online and being in the Zoom room where you can talk with people around the world for this very special day. Thank you so much, everyone who's worked to put World Labyrinth Day together. And Dawn, you have really stepped forward on this for Veritas. Thank you so much. Thank you. So here we are. Refuse to fall down. If you cannot refuse to fall down, refuse to stay down. If you cannot refuse to stay down, lift your heart toward heaven and, like a hungry beggar, ask that it be filled, and it will be filled. You may be pushed down, you may be kept from rising, but no one can keep you from lifting your heart toward heaven. Only you. It is in the middle of misery that so much becomes clear. The one who says, "Nothing good came of this," is not yet listening. So thank you all. Happy World Labyrinth Day. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all from TLS. It's really wonderful, wonderful partnership. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Lauren.